Okay, if I was a wild edibles superhero and I had a tool belt, on my tool belt I would certainly include this plant. So grab a leaf and pass it around. I want to see if I can't find the other. There's two varieties of this plant. Here, grab a leaf, pass it around. This is called plantain, and it has no relation to the banana. This is a very fun plant. This plant has a lot of amino acids in it, which is also known as protein, a lot of plant-based protein. The reason I would have this on my belt as a superhero is because this plant can literally save your life. So plantain has this miraculous quality to draw poison out of your system topically. So for example, a couple years ago, I was showing off in front of some friends, and I was doing a handstand. I fell in the grass and I got stung on my back by numerous bees. And I'm not allergic, so it wasn't a big deal. But if you are, it could have been a really big deal, right? So it started to hurt, it was uncomfortable, and I knew what to do. I ran around and I found this plant. I chewed it up, made a poultice, spit it into my friend's hand, and I said, "Can you please rub it on my back?" Within 10 minutes, the pain is gone. So if you ever get stung by an ant, a bee, a spider, if you step on a rusty piece of metal and you can't get to the hospital right away, this plant will actually draw toxins out of your skin. Janice Shawfield, an author that wrote a book called Discovering Wild Plants, she talks about how her dad, I guess he was accident prone, and so one time he treated a gunshot wound with this stuff. Nice. And another time he had blood poisoning, which is a very serious thing, and he was able to not die basically by applying plantain to the wound. Have you ever heard of Psyllium Husk?
Yes.
What is Psyllium Husk? It's like here you go. Liz found it. This is the other variety of plantain. Good job, Liz. So this is lance leaf plantain. This is broadleaf plantain. So Psyllium Husk is a supplement type food that helps digestion. It's like natural vegan gelatin, right? Where does Psyllium Husk come from? Plantain. It's a wild crafted food. So a plantain will develop these seed pods that look very similar to baby corn. It's a little too early for it right now, but they'll develop these massive long stalks that can have up to 20,000 seeds on them. And those little stalks are delicious when you boil them. They taste just like baby corn. That's number one. When those 20,000 seeds all develop husks around them, people somehow have shake the husk away, and that's what Psyllium Husk is. So what are some of the key identifying characteristics of plantain?
It's like fibrous at the bottom.
It's fibrous at the bottom. Very good.
And the color at the bottom. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so the top of the leaf is a darker green than the bottom of the leaf. Can everybody see that?
Oh, yeah.
There's something very obvious.
The veins grow out long.
Yes. Yeah. So the veins grow out really long. Do you see that? They're very easy to distinguish.
Yeah, that too. It smells wonderful.
I
want to eat it.
I think that you like greens, don't you?
I love greens.
So here, check this out. Here's one of my own personal identifying characteristics. So if you take the stem of plantain and you carefully crush it, look at this.
Oh, so cool.
So try that. If you can find plantain near you, see if you can expose some of the threads. Oh,
That's a special.
here, I'll come over here. So, yeah. Here, play around with that. I'm going to show these folks. Okay, so, yeah, check it out. So if you just, see how they have these lateral veins? If you just pull really carefully, it starts exposing threads.
It's been sewn.
Like it's been sewn. Very good. So now you know what plantain is like, right? And so if you're ever in doubt, like, is that plantain? You're going to say, oh, veins that you can easily see, long seed pods, and if you pull on the stalk, it's going to reveal threads. Plantain. Absolutely, you can eat the leaves. They're pretty rich in chlorophyll, which is not a bad thing, but they do taste strong. This would be like an advanced green. So put it in a soup. throw it on a pizza. I literally cram wild edibles into everything. When I was researching my book, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what is this plant good for? I have nutritional data in there. I kid you not, the USDA, there's a website called nutritionaldata.com. And it's basically USDA information from the 60s when the government just had a bunch of money they were throwing at figuring out what food is rich in. And surprisingly, they have quite a few wild edibles on there. So I'm sitting there compiling these charts and I'm thinking like, well, what is plantain good for? And it's literally good for everything. I kid you not, it's not an exaggeration. What is dandelion good for? It's literally good for everything. It's got tons of vitamins and minerals. It's got amino acids, antioxidants. So at that point I was like, it's kind of silly to remember exact things because it's literally good for everything.